the golden doodle. Like, that's what you look like to me. You look like a golden doodle. Like, I have no idea what you look like.
Exactly.
And then sometimes I get offended. Like, they'll be like, oh, it's me, like John Smith. And I'm like, you have an American flag for your profile picture. Like,
right?
How am I supposed to know what you look like?
Yeah.
And welcome to a new year of the Riley Black Project with Crystal and John.
It's 2024.
2024.
We've been doing this shit for like 2 years.
Yeah.
It's fucking weird.
Pretty, yeah.
That's crazy.
Cool. Yeah. So we're sponsored. Still.
We are. Crap. I'm really out of practice.
Yeah.
We
took 2 weeks off.
Well, and like even like daycare, every day I go pick up Jackson now. I'm like, what's the door code? What's my code to like get him out? I'm having to like look it up each time. Right. And I'm like, I swear I know how to do this, but my brain's like, it's been a week. It's gone.
Busy couple of weeks.
Yes. So we are sponsored by Katie with Monarch Pine. So use code Riley Black for 10%.
10% off
of her Etsy shop, monarchpine.etsy.com.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Now
I swear I'm not crying.
We are joined by your friend.
My friend. Only my friend? She's not your friend?
She's my acquaintance. If you don't know, it's Heather Lynn of LoBo Design.
What up, friend?
Who's that guy? Who's that guy sitting across from you?
You know, the co-host that everyone loves.
That's me. What's up, bitches?
So, yes, she does live 10 minutes away, but she had other stuff going on today. Mm-hmm. So this was easier to do it remote.
We only uprooted our lives and moved over here to live closer to you. And so we can be on the podcast in person, but here you are virtually.
Hey, she was twice.
Yeah, twice.
There's still time.
Wait, am I still going to be on every other month this year? Did we decide that?
I don't know.
I'll be there next time.
Yeah.
I feel like I should walk out and go knock on her door.
Right, just show up.
Just with the camera.
Right.
Wait, what was that? Like Publishers Clearinghouse? You should have like a whole bunch of balloons.
Yeah. Oh, man.
So we are going to talk about the party.
Yes, the party. And we're going to talk about like 2024. Goals and shit.
Yeah, because it's only been 9 days.
Yeah. It's pretty early on.
It's been a hell of a year.
Man, it's been 9 days, but this 9 days, I'm already like a little scared. And it's weird because we've planned out so much of our year already.
Yeah.
I feel like it's already like August. Do you know what I mean? Like,
well, yeah, because we're
because so much like we have the which we'll talk about. We have the Podfest at the end of the month.
Yep.
We have like birthday, vow renewal, something
comedy
trip
show.
Coming up. We have a comedy show. We have the conference. And so it's like already this year's like going very fast.
Yeah, it's only 9 days in.
And I'm a little scared. Like excited, but I'm like, whoo, buckle up.
I feel like this first week always flies too, because we always have, well, not always, but now that we have the party the first week, it's like we don't really do anything except for prep for the party. Like, we're like just getting over the holidays. Got to take down all the decorations, which
we haven't done
yet.
Yes. We did outside.
We did outside, but we
did some of it outside, and by we I mean Bud.
Same.
Yeah. It's like a team effort because we have so many blow ups, and it's been like raining on and off. So like I have to blow them up, wait until they dry off, and then like we're like one at a time trying to like box them all up while still checking for like bugs and shit. So I'm not trying to box those up.
Right. So this weekend and now we have the addition of your mother-in-law, which changed.
No, she's my mother. She's your mother-in-law.
Well, with my mother-in-law. Yeah. But it changed how we were able to participate this weekend.
Well, and not to mention we're only half an hour away now.
Right. That helped a lot too. But having her here meant that like me going early to do the tour and that kind of stuff.
We went early.
No, shut up. That's not what I'm saying.
Oh.
Last year.
Shut up.
Last year I had to go alone because we couldn't afford for someone to watch our kids for 2 days.
Right.
So I had to go alone early, and then you drove up and met me there like for the actual party.
Right.
And the year before that, we just didn't get to go to any of that, and we drove up right
Just
before
for
the party.
Right.
And then the worst part about it was the next morning, we had to like set our alarms for like 9 o'clock and like head home. And it's like, oh, I really need to sleep in today.
Right.
And we actually got to arrive early, take our time, go do all the extra stuff, and then like sleep in the next day and then check out. And like we actually, like the drive home was only 30 minutes. And I'm like, I'm not ready to go home yet. I'm like, so can we go to breakfast? And then we're done with breakfast. I'm like, can we take the long way? Like, we were like trying to like milk it a little bit more because like we had that flexibility this year.
Hey there, podcast listeners. How great would it feel if this was the year you finally got to escape your 9-to-5 to embrace your lifestyle of creativity and entrepreneurship?
Every Wednesday at 12 p.m. Eastern, Aeon Laser USA invites you to join the Freedom to Create webinar, where you'll learn how to make this a reality.
Join leading laser industry professional and brand ambassador Emily, aka That Mom with a Laser, and Aeon Laser USA's sales manager Alicia as they dive into all things Aeon.
Learn about the advantages of owning an Aeon laser and get the scoop on Aeon's rewards and partner benefits. Plus, get a glimpse at how everyday people who started out with zero experience paid off their lasers, scaled their businesses, and transformed their lifestyles.
So if you're ready for a lifestyle change, head over to eonlaser.us/whyus and sign up for the Freedom to Create webinar today.
Thanks for listening. Laser on.
Welcome to the revolution in laser engraving. Introducing Lens Digital, the creators of the game-changing Pyburn rotary attachment. With the Pyburn 4.0, you can turn ordinary cups, tumblers, glasses, and more into extraordinary masterpieces.
Looking to engrave niche items or want the functionality of a Chuck rotary? Look no further than the Pyburn Grip, Lens Digital's Chuck-style rotary. With a range of different sized jaws, you can easily engrave a wide variety of items. All Lens Digital products are compatible with most CO2 and Galvo lasers and were designed specifically for the laser industry. All that paired with the best-in-class customer support, Lens Digital is your one-stop shop for all of your rotary needs.
Transform your laser engraving game with Lens Digital, where makers succeed. Unleash your creativity today.
And don't forget, we are proud Lens Digital affiliates as well. If you're shopping, code Riley Black will take $50 off any order of $600 or more. So
how was it for you being close this year, Heather? Because you're also.
Oh, it was easy. Yeah, so I felt like I was going to work for the weekend.
Yeah. You kind of were.
Yeah, that's what I was. So I got to the warehouse store was super fun because, like I said, we don't turn those machines on a lot, so we don't really get to see them in action much. So I'm around them all the time, but being able to see them in action was pretty cool. But yeah, I really did love not having to go to the airport because I think both of the last years I got stuck on the runway for like 4 hours.
Oh God, yeah.
And I didn't lose my voice this year.
Right.
A lot of other people did though.
Yeah. Well, and then did you actually go home because you forgot a couple things, right? Did you end up going
so
home?
we were going to, I forgot socks. Like who forgets to pack socks? So I forgot to pack socks and I forgot to pack a razor. So I was going to come home. Oh, and my earrings for the party, which duh. So I was like, if it was nicer out that day, we would have just flown down 95. You know what I mean? It's easier driving. But I woke up, I looked outside and I was like, I'm still going. And then while we were at the warehouse, I was like, can we just go to Target? Because like, the drive, like it's only like a half hour, 40 minutes, but there and back. And then it's like, ugh, like I felt like it was going to kill my whole mood for the day.
Yeah. That's what, so we were thinking about going back too, because we forgot like insignificant things, I guess. Like we had a shirt set aside for Tom that we forgot to bring. Yeah. And then Len, he actually wore his Riley Black Project shirt on the plane. And, I was like, oh, I see my shirt or whatever. And he comments and he was like, I need another one. And we have more. So I was like, oh, well, if we're coming to get Tom's shirt, we can grab another one for Len. And we were close enough. And then I was like, if we have the time, yes. And we kind of did. Like, remember when you were asking me, like, what are you doing? And I was like laying in bed. Like, I needed that, like, relaxed time because I would have felt like rushed. Like, oh, we got to hurry up. Then we got to see the kids. We got to make sure that they don't get upset, like, when we leave again. And then come back and then get ready. And I'm like, I feel like, again, I felt like it would have, like, ruined the mood. I'm like, let me just relax, get ready slowly, don't feel rushed. Because there's always something I stress about when I'm like getting ready, like, oh, I forgot this, or like this isn't fitting right, or my hair isn't working. My hair worked on this first try.
Yeah.
And I was like, whoa. I was like, does this look okay?
She was in the room like, did I get it on the first try? Does it look all right?
It never happens. Like before the party, it's like 6 times. And then like the 6th time, you're like, this is good enough. I give up. My arms are tired. So that's usually what happens to me. And like, yeah, I got it on the first try this time. So, which it's literally not much different than this. I thought about wearing my hair down, but I know me better. And I'm glad I didn't, because the second you walked off that elevator, like you felt the heat of just like that floor, and I would have, it would have gone up right away, and then it wouldn't have looked nice because I probably wouldn't have had like a mirror or whatever. So yeah, but the first night was fun. That was the ugly sweater
mixer.
And I loved how Christina and I had very similar shirts. So that was awesome. Heather's sweater was awesome. I did see that one. And again, I'm always hot. So like I can't actually wear a real sweater.
Right.
That's why I had the like sublimation t-shirt.
That's why we plan on t-shirts, because it's gonna be hot.
Always hot.
Yeah.
But hers was fun because if you saw the reel I made, you got to throw balls at her chest.
And the rules were written on the back of whatever points you got.
Green, she had to take a drink if you hit white, which we were both drinking anyway, so it didn't really matter which one.
Right. It was just you got to throw balls at Heather.
Yes. Yeah, it's always a good time. And then Danny saw us later on. He was like, how did you guys not win?
Yeah. That was
so that And then what else? Then Saturday was the tour.
Yeah.
And then that's always cool, just like seeing everything, and there's always some cool, fancy, ridiculously expensive machine that they're showing off.
Well, wait, Saturday was brunch, right? You went to brunch?
Yes, Saturday was brunch.
I skipped that.
Yeah,
we went to Denny's.
Yeah. Mom during her speech goes, where's Heather? And I was like, don't ask me. Yeah.
I got in the elevator when we were headed to Denny's, and Hope was in the elevator, and she was like, Emily called you out for missing brunch. And I was like, of course she did.
Right. Yep. And then it was rainy on and off, which we were worried about how that was gonna like affect the party, because we usually spend quite a bit of time outside because it's cool and I mean it looks nice and all that. So
more room.
Right. Yeah. And thankfully the rain had stopped.
Yeah. Midday you didn't even tell that it was raining earlier.
Yeah.
It was like
it was like obviously the ground was like wet.
But I mean it was like a nice day out.
Yeah.
Sun was out and
it wasn't too cold or windy or anything like that. But yeah, it was,
and then they turned the heat on 105 upstairs.
Oh my God.
At the beginning of the party. I was like, I walked in. I was surprised because when I first got there, I really wasn't that bad. And you know me, I'm usually hot all the time.
Right.
So I had like pantyhose on, freaking high heels, long sleeve, like fucking velvet,
or like whatever dress. Yeah.
I was like, well, actually, I thankfully wore like a light one, so I was like, I didn't need like because that I would have died. I would have went back to the room and just got, because I think mom had like a full body whatever. I was like, I'm not dying. Right. So I think it was like 20 minutes we were there, and I was like, Jamie, you have to do something about this. I was like, I think she must have said something, and they like cranked it down a little bit, and then they opened those back doors and just like kept them open.
Yeah.
But the first thing I did when I got there, you guys weren't up there yet, but I was like, I went to the bar, I got a beer, and I was like, I'll be outside. And I just stood outside by myself, like at the table. And everyone, I think when you came in, I was like, like out at the back table, I'm like, come to me. Like, it's too hot in there.
Yeah.
But then I somehow was able to regulate myself. Like, I guess they chilled out, and then
and I actually towards the end of the night, I wasn't like super hot, and I was like, this is not normal. Normally, this is like the part of the night where
I didn't even pull my hair up until
don't care.
We headed to the other bar.
Right.
Normally, my hair's up within like an hour. I mean, I looked like a lion, but it's fine.
It was a pretty lion.
Well, that's why I saw some of the pictures when I thought I looked like a crazy person, and I was like, it's not as bad as that. It just looked like it was like a wavy, beachy mess.
It was. Yeah. It was nice.
In my head, it was like,
no,
like every picture of my hair is going to be like that.
Right? No.
No, and then awards. There was an award ceremony.
That was fun.
Yeah,
The dance competition.
A-team.
Yeah, she got an award too.
Yeah.
So well, woo woo. Yeah, and then the dance off was
that was fun.
pretty hilarious.
Yeah, that was fun.
Oh my god, the dance off was freaking. Richard Rios, like did you get to talk to him at all before he went up there and did that?
No.
He's so like he's obviously like we talked to him, we work with him, but he's not like left field. I was like, he wasn't even originally part of the dance contest. And do you know that other guy wasn't either? He was like the one that did the worm.
Yeah.
He was like challenging everybody to dance. He was like with production or something. He wasn't actually like with us.
Nice.
And then we had some other sneaker inners that like got in that weren't part of our crew.
Yeah.
But just like once the dance contest kicked off and like David when he did his and then when Dom and then when Richard, like they were all amazing. But when Richard got up there, I was like in my head, I was like, he's just gonna do something silly and then like walk off. And he was like, and I was like, oh snap! Like what just happened?
That was so great. He was my favorite, I think. Yeah.
So
and I don't even know him like that. So to know that like he's like super
makes
like
it even better.
So
and hearing the crowd like go crazy when they would go up and stuff. Yeah.
Well, and I expected the worm from Jamie, and instead she did like the weird like
I don't know what the hell she did.
Push-ups.
Well, then she did the b-boy spin.
She did. I was like, oh, she took off her heels. It's getting serious,
right?
And those heels were awesome, though.
Yeah,
they were really cool.
Yeah, they were.
Yeah, it was a really good time.
I wish you guys would have came to the party. Did you ever go in that bar? I was never in there before the county line.
And you know, like I was 50-50. Like everything in me like hurt. Like I was so sore, and I'm like, I don't know if I can do it. And then like I knew like I'd have to go up and change. And then I was like, once I go up and change, I don't think I'm going to be able to leave this room.
Right.
And I couldn't. And I wanted to go. I had FOMO and everything because I know that like that's usually like my favorite part of the night a lot of times is when like the after party. But I was like, no, I'm just so tired. he was.
I didn't realize it was a country line dancing bar. So it was like the younger crowd, but then like we rolled in like 30 deep. So like we took over like half the dance floor. But it was like we were all looking around. And I was like, there's a real divide here on who's 21 and who's not 21. Like, there was like the fully clothed section of the dance floor. And then there was like the why are you in your underwear section of the dance floor.
Well, I wish I would have went.
You missed out.
Right?
Yeah, but like Mindy and Brianna were like out on the dancer. Brie and Danielle were like, Danielle was actually doing the line dances.
Right. Yeah. Of course.
Yeah.
Brie was trying. So it was just so much fun watching everybody look like.
When they were doing the Cupid Shuffle,
dance moves were awesome.
When they were doing the Cupid Shuffle, Danielle was doing like the line dancing version of it.
Yeah. The fancy one.
Yeah.
With like a few extra steps.
A few, but they were like embellished kicks.
Yeah. Embellished kicks.
Yeah, with the boots.
Yeah.
She did like a fouette during the middle of
I used to do it fancy-ish, but
then
the
knees.
Yeah, the knees. My knees were like
the knees don't fancy.
My
anymore.
knees were like, bitch, sit out. Like, chill out. You shouldn't be up here, but I'm gonna let you get your song in. But don't try to do any of the fancy moves you used to do. We're past that.
We're built differently now.
Just a little bit. Yeah. So it was a good party. It's always just so great to see people. Sometimes that's the only time we see people. That like once a year.
Right.
I'm still tired. I met Ramen in person for the first time.
Right.
Who else? I'm sure there were a couple more people.
Nora Soto. Did you meet Nora?
Her. That's who you were asking. Who was that? Because they were good dancers during some of the.
Yeah. I was gonna say they were doing like the Spanish dancing like after like a couple dances.
I was already like done, and I was trying to save if he played any bachata.
Yeah.
And I even asked you, I was like, I want to dance, and he was like, no, I gotta save you for bachata, and I was like, okay.
I thought it was gonna be next, but it wasn't.
Yeah, no. But that's okay.
Yeah.
Again, I was already like gassed, and I was having fun. And then I was like sitting, and everyone's like, "Get up," and I'm like, "I can't. I can't get up. I want to, but I can't. So I'm just gonna dance in this chair right here."
Attention, all laser owners and crafters. Are you tired of spending hours cutting, painting, and assembling laser products? Look no further than Crazy Laser Dad Laser Ready Blanks.
Their high-quality blanks are expertly sourced, tested, and ready to use with your lasers. Say goodbye to the hassle and frustration of time-consuming projects and hello to more time creating and selling.
Plus, with their wide selection of items, you'll surely find the perfect blank for all your customers.
So, what are you waiting for? Visit crazylaserdad.com today and take your laser crafting to the next level with their laser-ready blanks.
Speaking of all things laser, check out Houston Acrylic at houstonacrylic.com for reliable laser tested and laser approved materials.
Made for makers by makers, Houston Acrylic features over 450 styles of acrylic sheets. With over 50 new arrivals being released this month, Houston Acrylic is committed to bringing new and innovative styles to the laser community. My personal favorite is the matte. Anything matte. And I feel it's perfect for everything.
Don't forget to save 10% by using our exclusive coupon code TRBP10 at checkout. Get inspired today and visit houstonacrylic.com.
Do it.
So yeah, that was pretty much it for the party. I'm excited. It always like you always leave like, okay, this really is like a family. I have these people to lean on. A lot of people, we were surprised, commented on the podcast,
on the show. Yeah.
And gave us a lot of props for the podcast. So that was a nice little like validation.
Right.
That was kind of unexpected. It was funny because Nora actually, she
right, because we went to dinner with them.
Yeah, we were at dinner with them, and then someone either said like my name or something, said like Crystal, or said the Riley Black Project or something, and she's like, "Oh, that's where I know you guys from." So it was funny how like she had like a little delayed connection between like who we were, and like I mean that happens all the time, because especially if you ever talk to anybody on like Instagram with their business name, and then also talk to them on Facebook, and it's like their real name or their name that not even their real name, the name that they put on Facebook, which is like different than what they actually go by sometimes. So it's always hard to kind of make that connection to who people are. Heather was joking that like of making people like wear their like Facebook profile as like
they should have to. Because some people have just like a dog. Like, how am I supposed to know what you look like if your Facebook profile is like?
Well, and then it's like,
doodle.
I've talked to that dog several times.
Exactly.
Really good.
And I say that shit out loud. Like when I meet them, they'll be like, this person, and I'll be like, oh, the golden doodle. Like that's what you look like to me. You look like a golden doodle. Like I have no idea what you look like.
Exactly.
And then sometimes they get offended. Like they'll be like, oh, it's me, like John Smith, and I'm like, you have an American flag for your profile picture. Like, how am I supposed to know what you look like?
Yeah. Well, and like, I'm just terrible with names anyway. So like, eventually they'll kind of sound familiar if you comment on enough things. But even then it'll sound familiar, but I don't know why.
Right.
So like, I need more clues to make
or you pulled like the, oh, hey, like,
hi.
You still have no idea.
Who's that? Yeah, I did that a few times. Like I know we had them on the podcast, but what's her name?
Right.
Yeah.
Well, and then it's even harder because if we had them on the podcast before we had video, you didn't have the face to go by either. With Robin and Jason Dory were both like pre-video podcast guests. Yeah. And it was funny because Jason, I was surprised that he remembered my name, and he's like, I know you, I just don't remember your name. He knew that you were like obviously my husband and the co-host, but he didn't remember your name. But so it was just it's always cool.
And it was fun for me this year because I felt more like involved, like I knew people.
Yeah, not
and
just
I don't know,
Crystal's husband.
Well, just not like the husband. Like I don't know if Bud, because originally, like every time we would go, like me, Bud, and Tom would kind of like huddle together. And I saw all of us kind of like talk to more people. So I don't know if they felt the same.
Yeah.
Like maybe because of, you know, the parties along with Dallas when we went last year, you know, we all kind of like met more people and became more friendly with other people.
And Bud knows a lot of the Aeon warehouse people now. So it was easier for him to like mingle into like the talking to Andrew, talking to Leck, like, talking to the guys, like that kind of thing. Instead of just talking to like the husbands.
Right.
Yeah.
That was a great feeling.
Yeah.
Like more fun that way as well.
Yeah. People actually knew like, oh, that's John.
Yeah. Exactly. Yeah.
Not Crystal's husband.
And it's funny, like it's hard doing the podcast like Misa. I didn't realize she was so tall.
Yeah. We found that out at the conference we did with her.
The first one,
First one.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And you weren't at that one.
Right.
So
So like I remember her face. I'm like, wait. I thought you'd be here, not here.
Right. Yeah, there was some the other direction as well, but
I'm sure she thought of that about me.
Maybe. I'm sure everybody's short to her.
Yeah, right. Wider.
The other direction. Oh, yeah. So should we get into
our goals,
the year and goals and stuff?
Yeah.
Do you want to go first, Heather? We can go at the same time ish. What are your like big, like higher level goals for the year?
More consistent content creation is my first one. Honestly, I know that's not like the biggest one either, but it's
bold letters at the top. Like it's make content in like capital letters. Is
like batching. I'm going to be batching content. I'm going to be getting my social media together. Like I have to.
Yep.
I haven't made a file in now almost 3 years.
I made a file. Now I have to actually cut it. But I actually made a file the other day. I was super productive yesterday. It was really hard to get out of bed and like get into our workshop. But once I finally got in here, like I don't even remember what I did. Like I did like my accounting. I sent a couple emails. I answered like a couple like messages that I had. I finally like shut down my Kajabi course, my course for I meant to shut it down after and fucking that dog never barks. Now she barks.
Yeah, now she barks all the time. Must be my mom's home.
But I meant to shut it down after Black Friday, and then I kept like because it's not something I can do from my phone. Right. And I had to actually do it from the computer. And then
I closed that shit immediately. I was like, bye.
And then every time I would remember was a time that I couldn't do it. And anytime I was at my computer, I wouldn't remember to actually do it.
Right.
And then we went to Colorado and then the party and then like all these things. And I remembered yesterday, I was like, let me shut this down. Let me take like a for real break. And then what else? Then I did my accounting. I think I already mentioned that. I did my December accounting, which I've shifted that from quarterly to monthly, which has helped me a lot because it's not as daunting.
Right.
And I remember like what I actually
transactions more.
Yeah. Like the transition come up and I'm not like, what the fuck is that? Because it wasn't 2-3 months ago. Right. It was like earlier last month. And then I had like some time.
I emptied my whole office yesterday. Just
that was great.
Felt like it. I was like, it's time because I'm sitting in my living room right now.
Yeah.
And I think you guys, I mean, you both know Logan's homeschooled. Right. So this is like the hub of our house.
Right.
And like, no matter, like they're going to have my mom's house, but for right now, my mom's house has no water. So they have to come in here for the bathroom. They have to come in here to use the kitchen. And I, as of yesterday morning, couldn't even stand in my office because of how much shit we've piled in there. So I was like, you know what? And it's time.
Yeah.
I was like, set up the camera, turn on the video, and time lapse this shit so you hold yours. Because if I didn't time lapse that, I would have stopped like a million times to watch TV.
Right.
Or like snacks, like grab a snack, respond to my emails. Like
it does.
So I left. I was gonna say leaving my phone on the tripod stopped me from checking my phone.
Right.
Right. That's it. Yeah.
And I was like, just get it done. That literally it probably took me half hour just to empty that whole room.
Right.
And that was including me going through some of the shit to
Right.
like disperse it to where it actually belongs instead of just being in a pile.
Right.
But it got me to like, I found my grip, so now I can
Yeah.
start like using. I got to my tumbler stash, which was like in the very back of the closet that I couldn't even reach.
Right.
And so now I can actually get back to creating weekly tutorials like I was doing 2 years ago. I literally can't even believe it's been this long. My
Right.
last tutorial was before I moved to Florida, which
Wow.
it was before I moved out of our first house, like on Cottage Street. So that was what, 2022
Yeah.
into 2023. Yeah. And
Yeah.
then
Early
all the
20.
last year was just unpacking, getting Florida life under control, working
Yep.
all of my jobs,
Right. Yeah.
trying to stay sane.
Right.
Oh yeah, this year my fonts are coming. I'm creating a
Yeah.
subscription for LoBo. Well, I think it's going to be a Glow Create subscription. I think I'm going to do like a Glow Create VIP or something like that, so that I can kind of mix and mingle files with fonts, with
Right.
Procreate brushes, like that kind of
Yeah.
stuff, so that we can kind of merge all of my worlds.
Yeah.
And then my courses will be revamped as well, along with a couple extra mini courses that I already have in the works.
Do you want to say what they're going to be or not yet?
Yes. So I will be doing a mini course on AI for iPad and another one on Lightburn. So more of like a Lightburn
for both of those for a while.
Yeah. And I go over like a little bit of both of I go over AI for iPad on my channel. I go over Lightburn like a bit in my AI for lasers course, but I don't have any separation for the people who don't want to learn AI and just want to learn the basics in Lightburn. So it's easier for me, I think, and I think that'll work well for me on my channel as well, because I'll be able to start releasing like, here's how I use the autofocus, like the basics. Like that's what I'm missing, is like these 2-3 minute videos of like, here's how I turn on my machine. Here's how I load my rotary settings. Like, don't forget you have to change those back. Like I do have like a rotary tutorial, but I think it's like 15 minutes long. So like I don't have any of those like, here, just watch this short or this quick, like that kind of stuff. And those are like the easy.
And that's what I was surprised how many people asked from my course, how do I upload my files that I create in Silhouette into Lightroom? And I'm like, and then they're like, how do you use Lightburn? I'm like, I literally use Lightburn only to run my laser.
Import it. Yeah. Or like, how do you import a Procreate brush? Like I don't have a video for that.
Yes.
I don't know how I don't have a video. Like it's in my course, but like I have no idea. I think it must be in one of my tutorials, but I don't have like go to my channel and here's how to here's a 30-second clip on how to import your brush. Because it literally does take 5 seconds.
Right. I was like,
you just download it and tap on it.
That's why I was so confused when people were asking me for it from the course. I was like, you just go open up Lightburn and you click import.
Import.
So people like want that. They're like, oh, okay, that just verifies that they're doing it correctly.
They're like, wait, that's too easy. You're
right.
Like, yeah.
I'm like, uh-huh.
Like, you overthought it. Is that what you want me to tell you? You were overthinking.
Exactly. So yeah, I have some of those planned too that'll be good for social media, but also for the people who were wondering with the course. And so my courses will be that I'll be adding is finally that LED course. Shut up, your fonts has been just as long. Okay, leave me alone. So the LED course, which will be the strip lights, not the new neon flex.
Soldering.
Yeah, not those.
That.
No
not soldering and not
right. Yeah, no soldering. I do eventually want to learn those, and if I learn them well enough to like then turn around and teach them, great.
Right.
But the first one is the LED strips, because they're just like they're not as like scary, I guess. And you don't need a solder, and soldering's not hard, but it is again, it's scary for some people.
It is.
I mean, listen, I have you do my soldering,
right?
So.
And I mean, even when I did it the first time, when I first did it, it was scary, and I had to watch a bunch of YouTube videos,
right? Yeah,
just to kind of get an understanding.
It's so fun though.
It is once you figure it out. Like I love watching him when he does it. It's so cool.
It's melty.
And then so that's the first one, and then the other one is a Silhouette like mini course. Like I'm hopefully going to literally pull pieces from the main course so that when I don't want it to be completely different, because then if you want more than the basics, there's going to be too much overlap if they decide to like buy the full course. Right. So we might have to get fancy with some of the editing.
Oh, now it's
it's we now. Listen, I was too overwhelmed that year to.
Yeah, you were. And I wasn't set up to help you.
Right. Yeah. But yeah, so doing a mini course, because I feel like it's a little hard for some people to just jump right in to paying, $300 or $450
right.
and seeing how well the Black Friday sale did at that like 115-ish price point. It shows me that there is definitely like that market for people who like they want to get some additional information, but they can't jump like all the way in like right away.
Right, for sure.
And then it's another way, and Heather and I always say like go to our YouTube channel to like see our like teaching style, because it's going to be very similar to how the course goes, in that this is how we show things, this is how we speak. We don't cut out
fast.
She talks really fast.
Please don't enroll in my course and tell me I talk fast.
Just slow it down. You can slow it. You can put the speed. You can slow it down if you need to.
I'm not gonna.
No, not you.
Oh yeah, they can.
Slow down.
And so somebody was like, "Can you just talk a little slower?" Like, no, you could just put me on slow mo though. If you
right? Yeah. Just do 45.
If you go to the setting cog and you go speed,
right.
And I will start talking.
Yeah. But that way, with the mini course, they can get like a taste of it, still get like
and get something
out of it. And then if they like it and they want to like, and then I'll hopefully add like an upgrade. Right. Okay, you took this first one. Here's how to take the full thing with a bunch of extra little nuggets that, are still helpful, but maybe not need. Yeah. So
who doesn't like nuggets?
I mean, all of a sudden our 6-year-old, when it's like the one thing he fucking eats, he started. But anyway, so the make content is one of our major like goals. We have new fancy tools for making content.
New GoPro.
So you'll see some GoPro
a lot more
action.
Yeah. Didn't make it here for the party.
It didn't. It literally arrived on Saturday. And we're like,
almost came back for it. Almost.
We still got the vlog done.
We did. Yes. And so that's another one of our goals for this year, which is just another excuse for like content.
Did you notice that all the Aeon people watched it?
Yes.
Well, so he posted it and then he was like, we already have one view. And I was like,
it got a view before I was able to view it. So like I uploaded it. And then I went to go. It was you, and I went to go look.
I got a text from Jamie, and she was like, "Awesome vlog," and I was like, "Really?"
It was Jamie who saw.
I was like, I saw the email came in when I was checking my emails, and I was like, "Oh look!" And I watched it, and I was like, "They're gonna be so proud of me for watching this." And then I shared it in our Slack channel. I was like, "Everybody go to the channel and watch. You're all in this."
Nice.
Thank you. Thanks. That makes sense why I looked and it was like 10 views and I was like, what's happening?
That's why when you subscribe, you should hit that bell button.
And then you get notified of the new stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, so kind of like the vlogging, like I know it's similar to the podcast. Like now with the vlog, because it's new, I'm nervous about sharing it and talk because it's like I know our first vlog episode, we're gonna be like, oh, like I did a whole lot of the nervous laughing.
You already did the first one.
But that's what I mean. I did a lot of the like nervous laughing. Every time I rewatch it, I'm like, stop it, Crystal. But it's like, yeah, I'm excited to see like where that goes, to see what the response is to that, because it's just going to be kind of like all the additional stuff that we thought about filming but didn't really know where to put it. Right. So that's going to be, where it goes.
Yeah. So you can look forward to the conferences we go to, projects we work on here.
Yeah.
In the
random family shit, probably.
Yeah, probably some family stuff, vacation stuff. So
yeah,
it'll be fun to see where it goes.
Well, and then adding to the Patreon benefits, when we get up and running, we will be uploading the vlogs to Patreon a couple days before it actually goes to YouTube to kind of just add just a little bit more like value and like
More
you
content.
get priority on like pretty much all the things we're doing. So yeah.
Did you already tell the audience that we're going to be at the Next Level conference?
No, we haven't actually.
No,
I don't think we've officially.
We haven't officially said it.
No, because we've been off for 2 weeks.
Right. Yeah. Yeah.
We've been off since.
So let us say we're officially going to be there.
Yeah.
At the conference, we're booked and everything. Flights.
And me too.
Yeah.
Oh,
well, my flights aren't booked, but I am.
Yeah. We kind of had to jump on that because like the prices were so good. Yeah. So
and Miss Traveler here, she's going from here to Tulsa, from Tulsa to Denver
by
herself, and then she's not going.
Are you me now?
Yeah.
I love to fly for a living.
And then she'll be back.
Well, so we were thinking of starting to go around 4th of July to go back home to see family and everyone. And then the conference was booked at the end of June. And I'm like, I don't know how we're going to like do this. And I don't want to skip a year. And then it was literally $4,000 for this family of 5 to go there and stay for 4 days.
But that was during the winter.
Yes, but still, like it was expensive AF for all of us to go. And like if we can add you guys on or that makes sense, like great. But
so subscribe to the podcast.
Yeah, right. Because we gotta pay for stuff.
Help us go to Denver. To start a GoFundMe. Help the rest of us go with Crystal.
But it was so basically like for what we were already planning on spending to go to the conference, I was able to add in 2 extra flights to Denver and then back home and then get to see family. Now it's going to be without you and the kids potentially, but
try not to have too much fun.
I won't. Listen, I don't like being alone. So there's
didn't even sound real. I won't.
Listen, I don't.
She had to think about how she was going to agree with you.
Once she's there.
I thought the same thing the first time where did they send me first? Utah? And I was like, oh God. I was like, never going to make it. And now I'm like, I love to travel by myself. Please put me on all the planes.
Well, listen, I won't miss traveling, the chaos that comes with traveling with the kids.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, no, it's terrible.
Them being there,
Mexico
absolutely
was
terrible.
so smooth.
It was.
No kids. Mexico was so smooth.
Yeah. And this was as smooth as it could be, but it's just even when it goes smooth, it's not smooth.
No.
So it's just pure fucking chaos every time you travel with kids. So yeah, it'll be good to get in like my family time and all that. But yeah, so there's so much going. So and we'll be in a different capacity this conference, which I am kind of excited about because teaching. I wasn't super sad about not like full on teaching this year because it was a lot the other years and it always comes with a bunch of anxiety, yet I always left like happy that I did it because people got something from it. But it was exhausting. And then manning my vendor table like after before and after like teaching, it was like I am done. I'm tired.
Especially on that day where you had like one class, you're like, oh, I only got one class. Oh, but I got to man the table.
Right. Yeah. So this, not that it's going to be like any less exhausting because now we're going to be trying to manage keychain thingies, the podcast,
a vlog,
that's all you. And then we're gonna be at like it's like Ask an Expert, I think is what they're calling it, or something like that. Kind of like doctor is in. So it's gonna be like these kind of little like booths or tables, and we'll have like a computer screen behind us, and people can come up and ask silhouette questions, AI for iPad, Procreate, whatever. Which they did anyway.
Right.
So it's kind of nice that we like are getting paid. I mean, we got paid last time, but we're getting paid to do that because these people they're going to see us, they would like come buy keychain things and they'd be like, by the way, I can't get this file to do what I want it to do. Can you help me? And it's like, oh yeah, sure. So, we just get to do like all of the above and then
and have a time and place for that.
Yes. Yeah. So
I actually think I might open some spots on my Calendly for people to pay to book one-on-ones with me on $12.
Yeah. That would be good too.
I didn't ask. if I'm allowed to do that, but I don't think I'm gonna. I'm just gonna do it.
I think you just did.
Right.
Well, and Marco could be like,
because I was like trying to figure out like what am I gonna push when I'm there, and I'm hoping that I'll have enough about because if all goes well, I'm hoping my subscription will be live by the summer. But like my focus Q1, Q2 is definitely to get this shit done. Like more files, more like get the fonts done, get my beta testing done, get my subscription email or my subscriber emails flowing a little bit so that when I do start promoting this, it's not like, hey, I haven't spoken to you in 3 years. Buy some shit for me. Thanks.
Right. Yeah. Yep.
So like I want to make sure I ease into it and not just like I created some fonts and then March I have a subscription and then I'm like, why isn't anybody on my subscription? Like I just came back from the dead. Hello.
Right. Exactly. Yeah. And I mean, that's what one thing that was kind of hard for us in determining, for all of us previous teachers determining if we were able to go, was because a lot of the other teachers had like, their file shop, but like that's not something that like people aren't going to the conference and buying files.
Right.
They're buying like physical things, or like you said, maybe even
t-shirts, hats,
like t-shirts,
products,
like all that kind of stuff. They're not going for mostly like the digital. The digital does happen usually afterwards, so you still can like promote it, and obviously if there's like a discount in your file shop, people do go home. I was surprised by I'm like, you spent all that money for the conference and then you went home and you still had money to like buy my course or buy some files. I was always surprised by that. Obviously welcomed the surprise, but thankfully we had the keychain thingies, which would potentially make sense to be able to afford to go out there. Because it was surprisingly like just expensive, like adding in everything that goes into it. So yeah, I'm excited to go and just push all of the new things that we'll have up and running by then, and
and to see everybody, like everybody.
Yeah, it's always so motivating.
Everybody. Remember that song?
Yes.
It's gonna be in my head forever now. Son of a bitch. Better than whatever fucking MJ had in the chat. The purple people leader.
Because
instantly humming it
is purple.
Oh,
so yeah.
Because the lights on this stage the time I took my selfie were like blue. So me and Liz were trying to take like a selfie of she and I. And it was like blue, and then it was red, and then it was green. So we were trying to wait until like the lights turned white. So in the meantime, I was like, I'll be a Smurf. And I like took a picture of myself. Yeah. And I was like, I really am blue in this. So then I went on my phone and tried to like tweak it a little bit. And then I just turned purple. So I was like, whatever, I'm just kidding.
It's fine. It's a cute picture. You can't let the picture go just because of backlight.
Yeah. I was like, I could probably find somebody to make it better, but it's really not that serious.
Right. Yeah. Is there any other? I mean, obviously Patreon is going to be our big.
Yes. So if you haven't subscribed to Patreon, join now. $4 gets you in.
Right. Yeah.
You get the
I'm a subscriber. I'm a patron.
You are finally. Thank you.
And thanks to all of our Patreon members.
Yeah.
They might have bullied me into it, guys. Don't make me bully you into it.
We'll hopefully be adding more value. We wanted to put out Christmas gifts this year, and that did not go as planned. However, maybe they'll be like Easter gifts or something like that. But they're gonna have. I have the idea, and so I just need to get them out. Right. So if you're a current patron at that time when we finally send them, then you'll be getting some goodies, and it'll be different depending on like the levels and stuff like that. But I hope to give something to at least something to everybody, even if it's as little as like a magnet and some stickers or something like that. But yeah, that's gonna be there. And then there's a million. We were writing out our goals, and like it took up like the whole. Where were we driving?
I don't know.
Down to Miami for something. Oh, for Christmas Eve.
Oh, for Christmas. Yeah.
And that's when we started. It was like a 2-hour drive, and I'm like, well, we should like start on goals. We're stuck here. And when it like filled up the full like phone screen of like, I was like, oh God. I'm like, this is a lot of stuff. And it's not even including like a lot of the like little goals that I have of like making sure, which this one might even be on there, but making sure that all of my files from Etsy are also on my website so that there's like 2 places, because things have been a little weird with Etsy for a while, but like their stock has been going down, I think, or, you know, and I mean, listen, you're not supposed to have all your eggs in one basket anyway. And so I need to get like my files over.
The export. Oh, I think we talked about this. The export and like setup process is super easy, but annoying because you still have to upload each file.
Well, so what I did was I actually the plugin through Shopify, and it's like, I think it's $5 a month or $9 a month. I don't remember, under 10. And it actually makes it super easy to like transfer over like chunks of.
Does it pull the file though? Because I already did all that. It pulls everything except the upload.
It does pull everything except the upload, which actually it might have pulled the upload. No, I don't think it did.
It's the only thing. I have all mine pulled over and it works like a freaking charm.
It does.
But then when I went in and I was like, are you kidding me? I was like, I have to go one by one through 300 plus files.
Yes. But for me, it was good because my style changed quite a bit like over the years as I made files, and like some of my early files make me like cringy because I like just the text box I use and stuff, and I'm like, oh god. And so just little things that I would like tweak as I have to like double check it and open it anyway. I'm
not doing any of that. I'm just pulling them all over, just like they are.
I have to look at them because there's some that I'm like, ooh, so bad.
It's way too much for my anxiety.
That's why it's good because I have to do it one by one anyway. So I just put it in those little chunks. And so I did like my keychain files first, which makes sense because it's on my keychain website. But yeah, so there's a bunch of like little goals that aren't even listed on there that I'm like, this too much, but it's like, I don't know how to get rid of any of them because they're all like important. Right. So I'll have to like go through and like kind of make sure to prioritize and then make sure I'm focusing in the right places and not like, you know, I don't know, doing some of the insignificant ones and then not working on the LED course.
Right.
Like I've already done for the year. Because I don't know why it gives me so much anxiety, but that's because I was realizing, I think when I talked to you a couple months ago, that I can always add to the course and like change it later or bulk it up and like, you know, raise the price because I've added more tutorials or even add like, you know, pieces that they can like separately buy. And I was trying to do like a full on like every single possible way you could use LED strips to make lights. And I'm like, no, I don't need to do all that. And it's hard not to because we want to do all the things. Right. And so I'm like, okay, do what they really need to know. Show them like 2, 3, maybe 4 different ways to do it. And that's like enough for launch. Because I just need to freaking launch it. I've literally been talking about this LED course since the first conference, and that was what, August of 2022.
Yeah, sounds about right.
Yeah. So I just need to get it out.
Your audio's gone, Heather.
Oh, there.
Hello, I'm back.
What did you say, Heather?
You have to unmute yourself.
I said, you stopped like a year and a half after I stopped creating files.
Yeah, and then
I gotta get the paddles and be like, clear.
Right. Well, and then I was surprised we were talking goals in our we call it like our family chat now, but it's the old next level chat with the like previous presenters. And we were talking about like goals, and then like we each kind of asked like the other like them what they think our goals should be, just to like curious.
Right.
And like 3 or 4 of them were like files. And I was like, really? I was surprised that they wanted me to make more files. I was actually kind of surprised. So I did actually make one the other day. I didn't cut it yet, but I made a file and it's pretty cute. But I have to hurry up and get it out because it's kind of Valentine's related. And I always like miss my mark and like, you know, release the file a week before. that
and
that
then
is another goal.
it's irrelevant. Yeah.
Right. And then it's like, okay, hopefully you'll buy this next year because it's too late for this year.
Yeah. That's what I did yesterday when I was going through. I set up all my Etsy sales because I do that buy 10 get 50% off. So.
Oh, I need to do that because I set them up for the year last year. Yes.
So I went there, I did that, and then I switched out like my featured listings to like Valentine's and Easter. And that's when I was like, I'm gonna clean my office. I got I'm gonna clean my office. I'm gonna start putting things away.
Speaking of Etsy, is the code for the podcast still live?
Oh, and I unboxed my fiber laser. Yes, LoBo Black, right?
LoBo Black, yeah.
Yes.
So use that if you need some files that you don't have already, because it's been a while since she did some new ones. But yes, congrats on unboxing the fiber. So that's another goal for the year is
created for a year and a half.
Yeah, I was sure we were gonna beat you. So I was
as soon as you said, I was like, in my head, it was just like subconsciously sitting in the back of my head. I was like, I have to uncrate this for Crystal.
Yes, it's like, and I'm a little disappointed that you did, but proud of you.
I was once I got the office cleared, I was like,
oh yeah,
might as well uncrate because it was just sitting in the bottom. It's just been sitting there, like right at the front door. So I was like, let's figure out how to pop this crate open. And it's the only thing I did notice. There's like where the cable comes out of the back. There's two like plastic parts that like meet up. And one of them is cracked, so I have to pass. It's just the plastic. I just have to unscrew it and screw it back in. But I was like, that was my biggest fear is that I was going to open it and it was just going to be like broken. I mean, I haven't on yet, but I was just expecting like just it in shambles, and then I was just going to be assed out because I've been sitting on it for a year and a half. So. It's so pretty, and the setup was super easy.
Yeah,
super easy.
Awesome, good to know. Yeah, we have to clear out some stuff. And just throw it in, either put it away or throw it in the shed until we hopefully have a mutual garage sale and get rid of some of this stuff. But yeah, I'm excited to uncrate it too. Had things gone, we literally got it the night before we left for Colorado. And then when we got back, we were only home for like 3 days before we left for the party. So we wanted to do it the other day, but so hopefully
clean out that spot right there and then put it there.
Yeah. So hopefully tomorrow. But yeah, that'll be the learning the fiber, content on the fiber and all that will be our goal. Another one of our many goals for this year.
Well, that's one of my main goals too, because I'm going to be hopefully like running it mostly.
Yeah.
So,
and then fiber keychain blanks. I have a bunch that I'm going to be ordering for me to just test and try out. And if they work out good, then I'll be sharing them with the keychain crew.
Right. Cool.
How long have we been?
About an hour.
Almost an hour on the dot.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah, look at us.
Anything else?
Back in. No, I got this cool networking band.
Your dots.
I wasn't gonna say the name because they're not a sponsor.
Oh, sorry.
But
I have a dot too.
You have a dot? I have the band. You have the band?
I have the card. No, I have the card just because I can't wear bands. They make me sweaty.
Oh, yeah. So it's got the dot, the NFC tag thing on the front, and then it's got the QR code on the back. So it goes to all my socials and stuff.
Yeah.
I would. Another thing that didn't come for the party because I wish I would have had it for the party.
If you have the card, it can just be in your purse.
Nice.
Oh, right. It could be like front on the front.
Yeah.
It can be like in your stack of cards, which I also realized today, over the weekend at the Melby, because my key was in my purse, and I would just make my purse. In front
to get in.
Yeah.
Bud was like, "There's no way it's gonna work," and here's the door. Like, click. I was like, "Oh no."
We got locked out.
She had it on her phone.
Yeah, we got locked out, and I had to like update the app. And then, like,
because you didn't have your actual key.
Well, all because she didn't want to go downstairs. She's like, "Wait a minute, I got the app."
Yeah, well, it would have been quicker. We were already it was pretty quick considering, but we would have had to go down because
made the key pretty quick too.
But when it's happened to me before, it happened several times, and I'm like, I know that the phone works easily.
I hate their keys there. I hate the whole setup. I hate the elevator. I hate you can't go
easily to your place room.
I can't.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't like that either. And that happened.
And then you get in an elevator like a bunch of strangers, right? So they get in, they don't have a clue because they haven't scanned their card. So you have to teach them.
Right.
Otherwise, you ain't going anywhere. So,
right.
You don't have to
in the way of
you
the
just
scanner.
You just excuse me.
Well, no, because my card won't work for their floor. So I'll be like, give me your card. Yeah, I was gonna say I would have to like snatch their card.
Just do it for you. Like, excuse me, and hit your number, and then let them watch and be like, how'd you do that? When you scan your card.
Right. Yeah.
The one I got in, like, I think it was Saturday afternoon, and there was a couple in the elevator that had already taken like a full ride up and down because they hadn't scanned, so they couldn't get off.
Yeah.
It's like, you're stuck on here. You'll go back up though. Don't worry.
You'll get there eventually.
Yeah.
Okay.
Good luck to you.
Yeah. So I think that's pretty much it, because I mean we got to do our life update, whatever that's going to be.
I think this was pretty much our life update.
Yeah, but we got to do gotta go through the motions.
All right, well, we'll let Heather go. You guys stay right there, and we'll be right back with our life update. And we're back.
Yeah. It was a good one for
the first one of the year.
First one of the year.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was fun. It was fun talking about the good old holiday party and how much fun we had.
Yeah. And one thing I forgot to mention during the main podcast was that this year we'll be doing some updates from some people. There was a lot of people who kind of wanted to come on again, who had been on like early on in their journey, and so much has changed for them.
Right.
So we'll be doing some updated people. So there's some people you'll see again. But we also want to expand like outside of the laser world more, which is what I started to do at the end of the year last year. But just more of that to get more of a like, just more artists kind of, but and I feel like they have the same struggle where they're like a creator,
trying to make it into a business,
and doing all the other business stuff, which kind of for a lot of us is the hard part. So just a lot of like expanding and just getting beyond lasers and beyond, kind of like obviously that will be our main focus because that's what our tool is, but like interviewing some people who may not have a laser or don't necessarily plan on getting one, but just hearing their story and how they got into, what they're doing. So, that's one thing that we want to do for the year. And then another thing we kind of talked about very briefly in the podcast was that we are going to Podfest.
That's right.
At the end of the month. So
that's gonna be fun.
I got an email from our podcast host. And they were like, hey, Podfest is coming up. Do you want us to pay for your ticket? And it's like, well, of course. Yeah, for sure. And something we wanted to do this year was go to a podcast conference because we know how the conferences really like just help motivate you. Like you learn so many things. You walk away from it like super pumped and motivated with new skills. And I'm like, I want that for the podcast. And then when we got that email, I was like, oh my God. And then I looked and it was in Orlando. And I was like, oh my God. But then I saw it was the end of January. I was like, oh God, that's so soon. It was like, okay, wait, I was ready, but not like that ready. And then so they were like, oh, apply to potentially get your ticket for free. And it wasn't like a random drawing. It was like a, based on your answers, we'll, see if you're a good candidate for the free tickets. And we got it. So in our year in review, we were again in the top 25% of our hosts podcasts. So I was like, hopefully there's a good chance. Hopefully that little like stat will help, push it over.
Consistency and see the growth.
That we're going, that we have an episode every week, except for the last 2 weeks because we finally took a break.
We got the tickets. No more podcasts.
Thanks. I'm done. So tired. So going to Podfest, that's at the end of the month. I'm excited for that. I'm a little anxious just because I really won't know anybody there. Normally I'm zero. But at least I'll have you. I would never go by myself.
But it's a like-minded event.
Yes. So hopefully I really hope that we come away with some new things, new ideas.
And maybe some new guests.
Yeah, to help us grow the podcast this year. Because again, we were surprised, not surprised that so many people mentioned the podcast at the Aeon holiday party.
It's hard because it's big for us and we put a lot of work into it.
Right.
But we don't know. I mean, we see the views. We don't know
who's watching.
Right.
We have no idea.
And like truly watching.
Right.
You know, not just like watches like the first 5 minutes or just to see who's on or whatever. Like actually like watches throughout.
Yeah.
So yeah, it was fun.
And then as far as life update, the only real, we don't have a ton because we've kind of talked about, you know, what we did. We did Colorado, which was amazing. And then the Aeon holiday party, but we also did some improvements to our already awesome house. And we I hate dark brown. I hate brown. Right. But I hate dark brown. And so we painted the front door and the shutters that were dark brown. And then we also painted the garage door because we had added that extra panel. Right. So our garage door was 2 different colors because of the additional panel. And then we added an extra like section slab on the driveway for 1 more car. Because now we have 3 cars. And it was a very skinny driveway anyway with the 2 cars. 2 cars. So now we have more space that we're not like on top of each other with our cars. And then we also added a fence,
which is game changer.
Really game changer. Yeah. Like we didn't have a dog when we were like before
but we still wanted one for the boys
and
stuff.
For the boys and just privacy and all of that. So and JR can go play soccer and we can watch from the sliding glass door and so that's really exciting and just kind of hopefully sometime this year
I get to let Piggy out now.
She
gets to roam the yard.
She does, which is it's so cute to see her do that. And then that way she's not just stuck in her little pen the whole day every day. But so that's pretty much it. Just enjoying the new expensive things we've done to the house. So now we have to pay for them with content and laser made goods. So you'll hopefully see me making some more things. Either
and you'll see me making things.
Either for orders or just content purposes. But
so we'll have hopefully it'll be a weekly vlog. That's our goal for a weekly vlog.
I was wondering. I didn't know how often we were.
I mean, that's my goal. My goal is to put something out weekly. Okay. Whether because I mean we're gonna be using things more. We're gonna be setting things up. So anytime we like move. So I'm telling you right now, we live in a mess. So this workshop is a mess.
Yes.
Our house is usually a mess as well. The parts you'll see, like kitchen area, and like because I put things together.
Well, I mean, area. So partially, I mean that's one of my personal goals for this year is to get rid of some of the extra stuff that we just really don't.
The clutter.
Some of the stuff that we really just don't need.
Right.
That's what I'm kind of excited about. The garage sale that Heather's going to do. I have a box, in our hallway in the front entry, for like getting rid of this. Our next door neighbor, they're expecting a new grandson, so which is perfect for us because we can give them all the boy clothes that I've been like holding on to that I don't want to just toss, but then I also want to give them to someone who needs them.
Right.
So I'm excited about just, getting, because I do want to live without clutter because I know how awesome it feels, but I also know that I'm ADHD and I am who I am, and it's always been there. Struggle. So it'll be, but I know when you have less stuff, there's less things to put away and less things to clean.
Right.
So, just going through everything. And we already did that, the last year and the year before. So we've already pared down quite a bit. So we just gotta do it again. And it's just going to be a constant thing because we're constantly going to be getting more things, which means, okay, now something else has to go.
Right.
But so you're going to see hopefully some clean days, here, but there's going to be just stuff everywhere.
I think it'll mostly be in here though.
I think so too.
And doing things. So so look forward to that. I mean, you guys love our banter.
Yeah.
And love our back and forth. So we're just giving you what you want.
Yeah, hopefully. Hopefully you want it. You want it, right?
Yeah, we'll see what the views,
right?
If they want it or not.
Yeah.
But yeah, so that's the goal. Networking. Got my card on my wrist now.
Yeah.
So never leave home without it, because every time I don't go with my cards, that's when I need them.
Every time.
Yeah. So now all you need is a phone.
Right.
You got a phone? Here. Boop.
Yeah.
There's my contact information.
Cool.
But yeah, so don't forget to subscribe to Patreon.
Yes.
Follow us on YouTube.
Subscribe on YouTube.
Yeah, and like
follow
all the
us
things.
on Instagram if you're not.
Yeah,
that one's actually one of our lowest follower counts. Part of that is also because I mostly use my Riley Black main page. But yeah, follow us on Instagram if you're not already. Join the group.
And if you want a glimpse onto the holiday party, check out the YouTube, the first vlog, and that whole weekend, because we go from the sweater party mixture to the tour to the actual party. So so it's 4 minutes, I think. Yeah, it's a good 4 minutes. I mean, Heather watched, so you don't have an excuse. She doesn't watch anything the whole way through.
She doesn't.
So but with that, it's been another great episode of the Riley Black Project. Crystal and John.
Bye.
Maybe we're all done.